What's up, everyone? Welcome to the next Ministry of Retro Gaming podcast, hosted by, sadly, sorry about that, us. I'm Ben.
I think that was a brutal self-burn.
Also, sadly, we do have some apologies. Who have we not got with us this time? That's Scaredy Matt. Also, Ash from 891. And sadly, Sorok Space. Not here with us, but we are joined by, first of all, I'll introduce Brian from Spacies. How's it going, Brian?
Pretty good. It's not that late at night, so I'm not going to be one to whinge or complain like some of my other guests are when I'm on my podcast. Actually, you guys didn't complain. I'll give you that. You guys trooped on. Yeah.
I was drunk, so I thought I was happy as
Yeah, in that respect, we were quite well behaved. We didn't complain at all. Next up, we've got Maz Gaming. How's it going?
Really good, mate. Yeah. Yo.
You were going to do that again.
The sound tests are over. It's okay.
In reference to the people that aren't with us, I'd like to propose theories as to what they're doing instead. I think Sorax is ironing his tie.
Almost definitely. Yeah.
I think Ash is getting a nice beard treatment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a pedicure.
Yeah.
He's getting a petty as well. And I think Scaredy Matt is hiding under a table somewhere.
Someone to come round.
Yeah, so everyone does know where they are before we find out. It'd be nice to know if I was in any way spot on. At least,
So, as usual, we're going to be hosting a few questions and a few other activities all related to retro gaming. Some of it could be loosely related. But,
well, I think actually with that, I'll kick off with the first one. I think it's becoming more of an issue. How much of your games do you actually own? So back in the day, you'd buy a game, it'd have a cartridge in it, instruction book, but that game was yours. Everything was on that cartridge, and we've done the DLC to death, so forget that. But I know Switch, being good as it is but underpowered in the current gen landscape, you can stream copies of Resident Evil 7 and we're already laughing, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey to your Switch, so you have to be online to play it, kind of pissing all over the portable aspect of the console unless you're just in your house. And also, the second those servers shut down, that 60 quid game that you bought isn't yours anymore. So what do we think about that? Is it worth? I know for some people think it's great. Some people say, oh well, it means I can play Assassin's Creed in my kitchen or whatever, because you can't play it on the back. Good enough. I personally think it's utter bollocks. What's the point? If you want to buy those brand new AAA games, I know it's easier said than done, but get another console. Just buy a console that you can have that disc on.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Yeah.
I think it would be. No, I was going to say it would be fantastic while you're playing it at home. So you'd be playing Resident Evil. Oh wow, this is terrific! This is awesome. Oh, I've got to go out and meet someone. Oh, I'll play it on a train. And as soon as you get out the door, it stops. Oh, I see a problem here. The Switch is touted as being something that's portable. That's the whole reason why it's called a Switch. You switch from being on a TV, you switch to portable mode. It defeats the purpose, doesn't it? It's like you.
I think when the name Switch could come into effect when they switch the servers off, because you can't play that game anymore.
it literally is game over.
Yeah, that's it. We're not going to do this anymore. Yeah. So get it.
That's a good point, Brian, because it's not really the kind of console you would expect to want to play that kind of game on anyway. It's an alternative, isn't it? That's what Nintendo has become. It's the alternative, sort of almost like an alternative genre, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you buy a Nintendo console for Nintendo games.
For Nintendo franchises.
So you don't.
That's what.
I don't know anyone who's just I bought a Switch for my main console.
Yeah, GTA. Here we go.
I bought a Switch.
Oh no! There was China Wars. That was the last GTA.
That's actually a really good game. I enjoyed that.
That's the thing. Like, it's just not built for it, is it? It's really not built for it. So I get that it's 2018 and people can stream and all the rest of it, but Like, why would you want to? Really?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just, I just don't get it. I mean, like with me, I probably play my Switch docked 10% of the time. Like for me, it's literally like what I do when I commute. So it's just absolutely just defeats the object. It's completely pointless.
I'll let
The inside of my Switch dock's got dust in it.
Really?
It's pretty well used, but the dock's got dust in it.
it's the charger. That's it.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
I actually don't touch my Switch much at all. I'm not too preoccupied with all the other consoles I've got. I'm still waiting for that system to really open up. It hasn't opened up to the level that I want. And the games that are on there, they're price gouging you at the moment, big time, just because it's the popular system. No, I play my 3DS more than I play the Switch.
No, really. See, I do disagree with that because I'll be honest, I'm one of the rare people that actually have chosen the Switch as my main console in this generation. But it's because I think I've said on a few videos, but I basically tapped out because I'm never in enough. I'm never in enough to bother with the PS4 and Xbox. So it kind of the portable bit where I can dock it if I want to, but I also don't have to. Like that's kind of that's kind of it for me. So because there's a game that's recently come out where it's only playable docked as well, isn't it? So it's like again they're kind of doing things that defeat the point of the entire Switch as a concept. So yeah, maybe I'm being too much of a purist, I don't know.
What was that game, The World Ends With You? That's coming out, and there's parts in that where you have to use the touchscreen. That's going to be difficult, isn't it? Without, like...
So, by all accounts, they're controller-driven sort of pointer.
It was initially a DS game, so that's where the touch elements come into it, but well, it's not really a touch
by all
console.
accounts, the controller, the docked elements, using the controller to move the pointer around, it's not really particularly great.
I know the Switch has got touch features, but that's not really...
That touchscreen's shit as well. Have you tried using that virtual keyboard on that? You try and press E.
Yeah,
it's never in there.
It's not happy, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't happen. You get like 5 letters past it. And you go, oh, for fuck, I've got to be back.
Well, speaking of keyboard, the one thing that really trips me up is every keyboard on PlayStation, on Xbox, and on Switch has different buttons to do different things. So if I want to go back, I'm used to Xbox. I hit B, it goes back one space, etc. But if you do that on the Switch, it enters or something. It just makes it really hard to. It's like the button configurations on one platform to another is totally different to each other. It's like there's a meme going around saying, and this is why trust issues are a thing. Like because the X button is in different parts of the controller depending on which platform you're on.
Just generally, A and B do the same thing across sort of Xbox and PS4. Like, there's A and B positions of the buttons. So, what is it? Square and
rhombus.
X. Yeah, there we go. You hit parallelogram and it. Console. But yeah, Nintendo on the Switch, A and B, as always be the case with Nintendo console, they're sort of reversed. And it takes me a good 10 minutes. Like switching consoles to get that into my thick skull. It does my head in.
That's why I'm no good at rhythm games. I'm no good at the QTEs in Shenmue because it says press A, B, X, and I'm like, sorry, I'm stuffed. I got no idea.
I bought a PS4 a couple of weeks ago, and I was playing Until Dawn, and there's a lot of quick time events in that. And I'm not used to. A lot of people have died as a result of me not knowing what the buttons are. Square, and I'm like, what fucking one is square? So by the time I looked down at the controller, I pressed every one but square. It's
We actually did it on the channel where we was playing Worms on the Dreamcast, and then we was playing Worms WMD on the Switch, and the shoot button is reversed, so the shoot and the jump button is reversed. So like literally, we started recording. The first thing I did was just jumped and then just shot myself. Like right into the water. I was like, right, no, bollocks, right, stop, we're starting again. No.
And the thing is, PlayStation originally had the buttons around the wrong way or opposite to what we were used to because the circles is supposed to represent yes and the X is supposed to represent no. But Western developers were like, no, the X button should be confirm. And it was like, oh man, I give up. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do anymore.
It is ludicrous.
It's just all the different consoles trying to be different to each other. I think they don't want to just have the same layout and format. I guess that must be what it is.
Well, I think they should sort that out because it is doing my head in. It's the first 10 minutes I spend with a game on a different console. I just wish I wasn't playing anything.
I gotta tell you though, who the hell calls it an option button? It's the start button, and that other thing with PlayStation, Xbox One, they've got the little symbol. It's a start. Can we just go back to calling it a start and select button, please? Like, what? How hard is it?
Well, yeah, the share button on PlayStation 4.
I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that.
It does what it says. You hit that and you can share things. That is absolutely fine. I quite like that.
That's quite handy.
Yeah, the Xbox ones, it is handy. The Xbox ones, they don't make sense to me. And also, I've noticed between games, sort of, you can hit the one on the right, and that will bring up your options menu. But then on another game, so you'll be pressing that, and it will just do nothing.
There's no consistency.
Press
No.
the other one. You just pick a fucking side.
I mean,
Jesus.
does it honestly surprise you now? Because bear in mind that this is the company who called their third console the Xbox One. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
Dumbest,
my God,
dumbest name.
nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
But the Switch having that share button or the photo button there, that I wish they put it somewhere else other than there. I have so many dumb photos that I've just taken at random of loading screens. Or, come on, hurry up! Oh crap, wrong button.
You wonder why your SD cards all fill up. It's like,
128 gig. Where's it all gone? And then I went back into the photos. I'd taken about 100 that I didn't know I'd taken. They're all exactly like options menus.
The last one I took was from Legend of Zelda, where I took a photo of the end of the game. It's actually the boundary of the game. It was just this crazy pixelated screen.
Really?
Yeah. Share it on our Twitter at some point.
So Nintendo's the world they made was
Just
great. If you go any further than that, though, it's just
the end of the game.
It's the Matrix.
It's the boundary of the game. You cannot go any
That's
further.
mental.
Didn't know they'd ever reach it.
Actually, Xbox One used to have a feature where if you did something spectacular in the game, like go over a crazy jump or something, it used to take an automatic photo. But Switch doesn't do that, and I think Xbox is the only system that does that. I don't remember. PlayStation will take a photo when you get an achievement. That's one thing that they do. Oh, sorry, trophy.
No.
Yeah. Anyway. Trophy. Well, hey, I wish Nintendo had a system like that. I feel like sometimes they're playing a game on a Nintendo. I've actually, in the past, bought a game on Xbox, even though I had the option to buy it on the Nintendo platform, because I wanted trophies. So I say, sorry, Nintendo, I want my gamer score up, please.
Well, also as well, because the Switch is kind of like designed for, it certainly appeals to kids, and kids love collecting stuff like that. Nintendo have kind of made an entire, the last 10 years of kind of, knowing that kids obsess about collecting things, Amiibo, Pokemon, random stuff. So it's like, why wouldn't you add that in for kids to just get obsessed over and play?
I was gonna say, it does seem like a glaring omission. Well, they seem reluctant to get into the achievement.
Weirdly, Nintendo sort of inspired the idea of the trophy system on Smash Bros. On the GameCube. I swear they inspired it all together.
Yeah,
and then they just dropped it.
We've made that.
Yeah, we've done that. Just leave it. Just have it in one game.
But Nintendo are famous for being reluctant to do whatever the other guys do, and God bless them. God bless them for it. But when they were trying to implement internet for the Wii U, they were trying. EA were the first ones to try and offer a service, and they said that it's got to be more like Xbox Live. No one there at Nintendo allegedly had ever heard of, never mind played, Xbox Live, or they did.
Come on.
Seriously, no one had any idea how Xbox Live worked, and yeah, it was just weird that these guys are in their insular little shell. That's why online gaming and Nintendo is just so far behind. But I don't know. I think the Switch online features, having to have a mobile phone with you, or Discord or Skype, or to do voice chat in a game, is just utterly ridiculous. Yet on the DS, Metroid had voice chat on that.
Yeah. It's the fact that I'm literally holding a console in my hand that has a microphone, and an earphone slot on top, and yet having to take that out to put it into a phone to speak is like I'm holding something that's connected to the internet. Why do I need a phone to connect to the internet?
Voice chat to your mate Diamond and Pearl from the start on DS. You actually could.
Can you really?
Yeah.
In your battle.
But also, they proved it works. What game was it? They turned on voice chat within, like, from the Switch. They turned it on there.
Fortnite.
So yeah, it was, wasn't it? So it's obviously it's literally flicking.
You can
Switch, essentially.
do it. You can do it.
Which actually, Switch Online brings us very nicely onto question number 2. Yeah, so thank you for that, Brian. So basically what I've written down here is Switch Online, is it shite? What I'm actually going to just flesh that out a bit. Specifically, talk about, with Xbox Live and with Xbox Gold even and PS Plus, you get rewards. So you can play online, but you also get a couple of free games a month. They are varying quality.
Some perks, if you will.
Yeah. So Nintendo's, I think Ben and I have different opinions on this, but Nintendo's idea was to give away 30 NES games that if you buy a Nintendo console now, you've likely played 1,000 fucking times before, and you already own about 400 different various copies of, be they physical or digital. Is that worth it? There is a correct answer to this. Ben's is the wrong one.
You could just picture this shonky salesman being told, "Oh, what can we offer him?" And then he reaches out the back and pulls out this dusty, game, and we'll just give him that. We've got a bucket load of them out the back. Again, copyrighted in 1987 or 6. Yeah.
So we don't buy that boardroom. Oh, well, actually, all of the internet are saying they want GameCube games. So they go, oh, fuck off. This is why we don't invite you to these. They'll be fucking happy for it.
Did the GameCube have the longest lifespans of any Nintendo console?
Yeah, and they suck.
Yeah, they just didn't.
Fuck those games. They're absolutely fine.
I've changed my mind on this, by the way.
I suppose there could, in my opinion, there's two potential reasons for this. One is that they are going to bring it, despite they're saying they're not. They're going to bring in some kind of virtual console, or they're going to bring this in, implement this in their Switch Online, or they're just going to port them and charge us for them again. Like it's going to be one. Yeah, it's going to be one of them. Exactly, and it frightens me to think that it is probably the latter.
Yeah,
that's a disgrace.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, guys, again, I know I keep saying this, but it's 2018. It's like, this isn't hard to do anymore. This has been done forever. Like, it's crazy that the Dreamcast had better online service legitimately in 2000 than Nintendo could conjure up.
Sega.
It's not even a joke. It's not a joke. It's the truth.
I have never considered that. That is 100% true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it was better, and it was the first to really do it.
I could check my emails on my Dreamcast. I could check my emails. I could go on chat rooms and things. On the Switch, it's like, here's Mario. Oh, piss off.
I bought beer on my Dreamcast.
Really?
Yeah, we were able to go online and do online shopping with the Dreamcast back then, and I figured, let's try and see if we can get beer. It worked. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, up yours, Nintendo. Try and see if you can do that on a Nintendo platform.
You bought beer on a Dreamcast, and on a Nintendo Switch in 2018, you can't talk with the fucking jack input.
And also, point in having friends if you can't communicate with them on it.
I thought you were just going to leave it at that. What's the point of having friends? I would be with you. Yeah, I've said it for years. What's the point in having friends?
I tell you what, if they did start kicking off some more virtual console games or whatever they're going to call it now, I would like to see them, do that. It's never been that. It was so underrated at the time. Everyone hated it. Oh, it's so clunky and whatever. But I've actually had a lot of fun with that, and I know there's a lot of other people out there too that enjoyed this more than what they will want to let you believe.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It's a beautiful looking game as well, visually as well. It's actually it pushes the GameCube to its full, I think.
Yeah, but I think just going back to the online thing, it's like I know that they're not charging a lot, and I've actually got no beef with the whole paying to get online thing. Like I've paid for Xbox Live for years in the past. It's fine, it's not a problem. But as soon as you start charging for it, then people have a legitimate right to say, actually, we expect a level of service. Like if you look at all the other versions of getting online on consoles, it's just awful. It really is. Like, I mean, I've paid for 1 month now, basically just to play Splatoon. That's it. And then it's like, am I going to bother doing that indefinitely? Probably not.
No.
So
That's it. I mean, all it's offering. I played Splatoon for a year, more than a year, for free online.
Yeah.
They've taken that away from me. They're now trying to charge me to do that, and they're offering me some games that I've already got on my fucking Wii or on my Wii U. Already got them. I've got them on my 3DS. A lot of those. It doesn't make sense to me.
I would prefer to pay full price, like you pay with the other platforms on the Switch, if I knew that I was going to get something equivalent, if not better, on the Nintendo platform. I haven't signed up for this online thing because, quite frankly, I don't want your NES games. If I want to play NES games, I've got a NES Classic back there. I can play them on that. So I don't really see the point.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I haven't paid for it. As a result, a sizable chunk of my Switch library, which is multiplayer, has grown the same level of dust that the dock has.
We haven't spoken about the rewards thing that they are giving out.
Rewards.
Yeah, there's some weird, wicked calculation where if you were to buy like 30 games, you'll get one free, if that. It's just crazy the amount of money you need to spend in order to get enough reward. Points. It's points. To be able to redeem them for a game. And so far, is there any games that they're offering as a redemption at this point?
Don't think so.
No.
Not really.
So.
No.
On your birthday, you get a certain amount of points for free, and I got the email regarding that, and I clicked the link to log in. They weren't there.
Psych.
Yeah.
That's like
They just weren't honoured. That's it.
You know, in a restaurant, it's less offensive to leave no tip than it is to leave 10 pence.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. So essentially, they tease you. And they go, "Fuck off."
Don't hit your ass on the way out.
It's my birthday. Why not treat myself? Not that.
That's
horrible.
awesome.
It's just,
Like,
That is me.
Watch how we be
if that story just kind of sum up 2018 Nintendo, I don't know what it was.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, actually, let's do anything. You know, because the points, they don't last forever. I occasionally get an email saying, "Oh, you've got these points that you have to redeem before."
Yeah.
I think the last one was before like the 15th of October. So I logged in on the 14th of October, and the points had expired. Now, don't send me an email. If you're just going to get rid of the points, just say we've sacked your points off now. Don't send me an email saying, "Look, hurry up," because we're letting you know out the goodness of our hearts. You can get some money off.
Oh, they're going by the wrong time zone.
And then just take it away.
That's what it is.
But also, right? Why do points expire? Because it doesn't. There's no sell by date on these things. It's pointless. Well, exactly.
It is pointless.
What do you expect to ever save up enough to get something decent as well?
Yeah, exactly. I suppose that's the other thing.
Yeah, like a theme or an icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or some new skins. On
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just redeem them for now for a nice message.
Happy birthday, mate.
Yeah.
We're not giving you shit.
Have a good day.
Right. In the UK, you better off signing off for a game elite membership and then buying everything physical and getting actual points.
Yeah.
And I literally got Sonic Mania Plus for free with my points from Game Elite. Whereas with Nintendo Switch, those points never in a million years would I be able to do that. Not a chance.
I got some serious change off of my Neo Geo Mini. I signed up for my Elite card the day I got my PS4. They've been trying to get me to do it for months. So I said, right, I'll do it. How many points do I get from this? And he sort of, his eyes widened. I went, yeah, I'll just take it. I went back in. I must have paid 30 quid total for that Neo Geo Mini in the end. I just gave him my card. He went, you got quite a lot of money off of this if you want it. I was like, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
At what point am I going to say, no, you keep that? Here's 100 quid.
God, we don't have anything like that here in Australia. EB Games don't really give you all that much. They give you a discount on the trade-in games, and that's about all I can really see that you get for your EB membership card.
I had no idea EB was still around in Australia. Sorry.
Yeah, Game crashed. We had Game, and Game crashed and died in Australia. So now we're only left with JB Hi-Fi and EB Games.
game were teetering on the edge in the UK,
Yeah.
and then they somehow clawed it back. They've done it, I think,
Yeah.
by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was those elite cards that saved them.
It probably was. Yeah, because like, honestly, ever since I've had the elite membership, I've literally bought everything physical for that reason. So yeah,
Well,
makes
it's
sense.
either a game or supermarkets in the UK to buy your games, isn't it? Really, that's what we're looking at. Isn't
I've
it?
seen
No,
quite a few people on the internet. So people, not friends, they're not our friends, but they're people that we know. One of them, Jason, we give him a lot of shit, both on the internet and on our YouTube channel. We give him a lot of grief. But he was saying, "Oh, I don't know why anyone buys physical games anymore." He was basically calling everyone else a fucking idiot. Now, this is a guy who I guarantee struggles to tell the time. He's a fucking moron.
against physical games.
So I said to him, "Well, doesn't it?" I said, "If I buy a physical game, I know that the person that sold it to me is getting a wage." Then he went, "Why does that matter to you?"
Oh, for God's
wow.
sakes!
I mean,
I
Wow.
haven't seen him say that.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
And you get a physical game there.
Yeah, so at first
as well.
he was just an idiot. Now he's a fucking prick as well.
Yeah.
It's, he just keeps
Seconded.
adding to it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
But again, like, does he not realise as soon as the servers go off, like PS4 and Xbox One, like everything is literally just downloaded to your computer. As soon as them servers go off, at some point, like that's dead. Like that's gonna be the most expensive like beer mat in the world or whatever.
He said, "Yeah, my online games library is brilliant." I said, and he tried to tell me about it. I said, "Well, at no point did I ask you about your online games library. I'm not going to. Stop talking." And he did.
And eventually he can look.
Okay.
Eventually he can look back on them fondly.
Yeah,
Can't he?
exactly.
And-
What I can do is I can look
some
at
precious
my
memories.
shelves, and I can just go down racks of hundreds of games and go, right, what do I want to play today?
There are a ton of games that were once available online and are not for various reasons.
Exactly.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is probably the most obvious example that I can think of right off the top of my head. That only went off the servers after about a year, I think. It wasn't on there for long. Also, Castle of Illusion, which I think has actually made its way back online though lately. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I did buy the Steam version of that, but it disappeared off servers for quite some time because it's all about once you get it on this on these servers, it's got to stay there. You got to keep buying the rights to it, or whoever Sega or whoever the publisher is. They got to keep paying the royalties to whoever it is that they've bought the rights to. And some companies are really tight-fisted, like Disney, for example, when it comes to their IPs.
That's because they've got no money.
Well, I mean, there was even
They own half the planet.
Yeah.
like there was even one Dreamcast game that was online only, which kind of died in 2004 or something, and even that's only just been brought back online, and that's because there's a real community around the Dreamcast. There is going to be no community around the PS4 when the PS5's out. That's just not how it works nowadays. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So like no one's going to bother bringing those games back online. They're just going to go, and that's the end of it.
There's one, The Legend of Zelda, the original NES, they had a BS. That doesn't stand for what you think it stands for. Broadcast Satellite, I think it stood for, not the other thing. Yeah, but it was a version of The Legend of Zelda back in the 80s where you had to play at a certain time, and as you were playing, they were commentating music in time with what was happening in the game, and commentating, and this is in the 80s. This was like way ahead of its time, but unfortunately that's all gone. That's all lost because those recordings were never kept of what was actually being transmitted in that time. So that's one probably one of the earliest examples of a lost game.
Wow.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Well, the outlook is bleak. It's not looking good, really. I mean, especially when you look at the new generation of gamers, like the younger ones now, probably not going to have the same kind of nostalgia when it all just disappears.
Not at all.
But in the future, they'll be able to plug something into the back of their head, and they'll be able to live in the game. So
Yeah, where human beings become AI. Yeah, great.
that's it. So, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, let's get
Demise
involved
of the
with
human
that.
race. Yeah, can't wait.
So yeah, if anyone can get that kicking off as soon as possible, I'm in.
Will we?
I'm in.
Yeah.
The quickest way to learn kung fu. Just saying.
Well, I'll tell you what, VR's not far off that, is it? You're putting a big goggle on your head. Oh, wow, this is awesome. And people looking at it from the outside, you look like a clown. But But
do anything like that.
but I mean, when it comes to lost games, the most recent example is Pinball FX Free have taken the rights for Order Williams tables off Pinball Arcade. So unless you pre-bought them, they're now no longer available on Pinball Arcade, but they'll be coming soon to Pinball FX Free. That was just such a huge blow for Pinball Arcade. That's like their bread and butter, and now they got nothing. They're stuck with Godly tables and a few scraps here and there. But the Pinball FX Free Williams tables, they look awesome, but there's censorship in them now. Stuff like cigars being taken from the games.
Oh, really?
Girls' bikinis have been sort of reworked to make them look a little more Victorian. I don't know, Victorian era. Yeah, so we're going through a weird era with video games where censorship is also coming into it as well.
Retroactive censorship. That's there's no need really. Surely you can view context at the time. Surely you don't need to apply today's standards to it.
Well, this is the thing. Today's standards differ depending on where you are on the planet.
Yeah.
Because if you're in Japan, you are well within your rights to show. In Japan, it's cartoon, but in this country, they just save the day. In Japan, they save the day, and then some eels fly out of a bird's arse. Everyone's fine with that over there, but they come over here and everyone goes, "Oh my god, have you seen what's coming out of that woman's jacksie?" And they're like, "It's Japanese."
And all the kids just light up a cigar.
Yeah. Happy Larry.
You know what? Like, because obviously, you know, like to Western eyes, it's just so odd to us. Like, even in Shining Force Resonance Refrain, like, I was playing that the other day, and then one of the characters, I unlocked her bikini, and it's like, why? It's like the woman's fighting monsters and like she's got a sword and shit.
I was given the review code for that, and part of the review code was all the bikinis were unlocked. Yay!
Just like what does it add though? Honestly, like there's a weird like there's a weird little subculture that I just don't understand around the whole hentai thing, because honestly, like there's someone on Twitter who keeps sharing it, and I'm not sure who it is, but like I was scrolling through Twitter and what the other day, I just went past like a drawn schoolgirl in hentai. It's like, what are you doing, you fucking freaks?
And I wish 891 would stop doing that. Like, seriously.
Sorry to defend him, but we know what he's away doing. It's drawing porn.
But do you not see something really odd about the fact that it's usually a group of like male Japanese developers drawing these weird things that you're then getting your jollies off? What are you doing? It's really odd. It's really weird. I don't like it at all. It freaks me out.
Yeah, that's because that's why you use them all the time.
That's why Switch Online is shit.
It is funny though, seeing a band of women with bikinis and swords going to attack monsters. Like, yeah, there's a scene you would imagine would be realistic, isn't it? And they got the highest defense points. The highest defense points are with the bikinis.
Or just a loincloth. No.
Yeah. Oh, ludicrous. Right, so I think we put Switch Online to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's done.
DOA.
So, next up, not a series of questions, short questions. This is a would you rather. Some of these are horrible to decide. First one, we'll start off with a nice, easy one. I think there's going to be certainly two people in this that are going to opt for one over the other. So, would you rather, like, if you had to choose, only play the SNES or the Mega Drive for the rest of your life? You're not allowed. You're allowed to hear about the other one, but
Mega Drive. Sorry, you've already got me on. Can you give me a difficult one, please?
What are you doing? Because the last one is utterly savage.
All right.
Yeah, guys. I'm not sure which one I would plump for.
All the way.
Give us
See,
a clue.
let's see. This is what I like this bit of it, because I definitely go SNES.
I would definitely go Mega Drive.
All right, well, fuck
Even
all
though
you
the
then.
teacher might say
Yeah. Majority rules, Chris. Majority rules, mate. You're done. You're done.
Right. Sorry, SNES, you're out on your ass.
Love it.
Right, that one then. So,
Geez, that lasted
Okay.
long.
this one's slightly. So this one, I'm going to change this a little bit based on that last one. So, would you rather know of not Mario? Sorry, I'll start again. So, Sonic the Hedgehog as a concept series, everything else around it didn't exist to you, but you were like Bruce Wayne level wealthy, or it did exist, but you could never play or see it. Everyone else got that joy. So you were aware that people were getting the joy of playing a beloved franchise as you know it now, but anytime anyone showed, so if you saw that lamp, all you'd see was a white lamp. you could watch people enjoying that lamp, but you couldn't see why they were enjoying it.
I love lamp.
Yeah, not no more you don't.
That is disgusting as a question.
Yeah, see, I'll ease you in with an easy one and then slap you around the face with that beast.
Full sense of security right there. GR.
Yeah. Jeez, that escalated real quick. You going to go,
Oh my
Maz?
God. Yeah, I think.
Show me
like,
the
whole-
money. Show me the money. I'll take the money.
There we go. Try other things to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The money, Mark. Take the money.
I know,
He's really-
it's-
Yeah.
honestly, I'm really on the fence here.
I'm glad I changed this.
Because you know what it is, right? Because I'm thinking like at least I would still enjoy other Sega games because I'm assuming that I'm okay to do other ones. But without Sonic, Sega would be dead right now.
No,
So it's
we'd be
kinda
playing
like-
Alex Kidd games now.
Alex the Kid. Alex the Kid. I think I'd go the second one. I'm not money motivated. It doesn't do anything for me. I think I'd go the second one.
It's quite noble. So you'd rather everyone else got that joy, but you.
Well, because I mean, again, I'm assuming that I'm doing that semi-selfishly because then at least I get other Sega games, whereas the first one, Sega would be totally dead, definitely. So it kind of like, I couldn't see the smugness of every Nintendo fan knowing that Sega had finally died, so I couldn't do it. So yeah, second one, balls to it.
Maybe there was.
I don't-
Tails
I don't know. Okay. I reckon if Sonic wasn't a thing, that maybe Sega would have come along with some other icon or some other mascot eventually.
Depends what they push forward, doesn't it? I guess they did heavily.
Well, it was going to be
heavily push
Robotnik. It was going to be Robotnik at one
Yeah,
stage.
it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
And he looked at his name.
There was a few different.
Yeah,
There was a few different candidates that were put up. Bulldog, that was another one.
Yeah.
And a rabbit.
The episode of The Simpsons with Itchy and Scratchy. It turns out that that homeless guy invented him,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
Manic Mailman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that that's how I picture it.
That is exactly what it was, mate. Yeah, that's pretty much the same. Yeah. Yeah.
Barry the Bartender, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I think because in terms of again, this going to a bit of history lesson, but I think the TurboGrafx might actually have beat Sega without Sonic, so it's kind of like I'm really really mega overthinking everything here historically, but I'd go with the second one.
I don't know. I had that discussion with Al Nilsson about the TurboGrafx, and I said, could that have been a big threat to Sega at one stage? And he just shut me down and said, no, at no point. They were not organised enough. It was too expensive. There was a load of they were not organised. There was a lot of different reasons why the TurboGrafx failed, and he at no stage was really worried about them ever being a threat in America. And I was quite surprised by that response from him. It was pretty cool to be able to ask the guy direct. That was
Yeah, but it was.
yeah.
Oh, I've never asked anyone of any worth. I mean, I've got no frame of reference for that question.
No, actually, there was. I'll be honest. That's probably the first time I've been in that position to ask. So, I mean, he started opening up about Michael Jackson. I was about to.
Oh god. Oh god.
Not in that way. No. I was about to close up the podcast, and then all of a sudden he started talking about how he was the liaison person between Sega and Michael, and he was going on about how he was such a perfectionist and how he would like, because we were thinking, would he have even known about the Master System version of Moonwalker? And he said definitely. He said there was no way that he would have put his name on that game if he had not have seen it and looked at it before giving it his approval. It was quite involved in.
I'd like to have been in that meeting. I'd like to have been in that meeting. Just so Jacko, what do you reckon? He goes, I think it's all right. I like video games.
I love the way that the Thriller song appeared on the first versions of Moonwalker, apparently, until everyone told him, Michael, you didn't write this one. He didn't write it. He didn't own the rights to it.
Really?
Rob wrote it.
Is that right?
That's me.
Is that
Michael
why?
Jackson did not write it.
Wow. So that's kind of what's happening now at the moment with Sonic 3. Michael Jackson was involved. We all can kind of read between the lines that he was involved with the production of the music in Sonic 3, and that's why Sega, I think, are not releasing it anymore, because they're worried that the Jackson Foundation are going to swarm on them with collecting back debt royalties, even though he even though he wasn't credited. That doesn't mean that he won't be entitled, or the estate won't be entitled to any royalties. And I got a big fat no comment from Al Nielsen on that one. So which you can read.
Rumors are to be believed. He felt he was entitled to a lot. Other people's kids.
You better add more to that sentence.
I really didn't think that through. Well, no, just rumors.
Well, if you want to just go by rumours, yeah.
Yeah, so let's just go by rumours.
Right, I'm literally just going to end the whole Jacko thing just with one Jimmy Carr joke, and that is, if I was a millionaire paedophile, and I'm not, but if I was, I would definitely build a theme park in my back garden. End of.
It wasn't a good look when he turned up to court wearing pajamas. I mean, that's like the uniform, isn't it?
I've just come straight from a sleepover.
For the record, I don't believe any of that was true. I honestly don't believe that he was doing what everyone was accusing him of doing.
I don't believe it.
No.
And as we all know, found not guilty. So it's the end. If we go with the legal system, and I do believe in probably not the US legal system actually. No, we'll leave that.
Yeah, O.J.
Simpson was the first thing that came to my mind too.
Yeah.
What if he wrote a book said, "What if I did do it?" Like,
the book was called If I Did It, but he lost the rights to release that book. So his family released the book, and so on the cover it's got a picture of Juice putting a glove on, and then above it said the title said, If I Did It, but if is in about a 6-point font, and the rest is massive.
Really?
I did it.
It's glorious. It's a stroke of genius releasing that book. Right, well that's all right. So last one then. I still don't know how to pick for this. I don't know. So would you rather play Ocarina of Time in a language you don't understand?
Oh God! Hang on. Right.
I don't know why I'm looking up like I'm going to be able to see over the chat.
Okay, now I'm ready. So I didn't hear the second part of that because I was too busy getting my copy of Ocarina of Time in a language I don't understand.
All right. Changes the landscape though. Sure. All right, so would you rather play it in a language you don't understand, or play it in English, but the movement speed drops to 7% every time you cross Hyrule Field? I don't know. I played Link's Awakening on Game Boy in French for 8 years on my original Game Boy when I was a kid, and I don't know how I didn't finish the game because I don't speak French. And when I managed to pick up in English,
even after that time, you didn't pick up the lingo.
Well, not.
Les Stooges.
I picked it up in English and I pissed through it in about a month.
I don't know. Do you really need? I'm going to have to prove this one day, maybe. But do you really need to read it?
I don't know, instructions, stuff like that.
I would imagine, directions to the next bit.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Or a
hang
little
on.
mini task.
That's not the game.
I was going to say, that's not Ocarina of Time.
There. I thought I put out the wrong game. There we go. That one.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose you've played it in English, yeah?
Yes. Not to the end. I was playing it on the DS, and then I played it on emulators on the Wii. The Wii emulators are crap. I'm not a fan. But then again, Nintendo 64 never really, in my opinion, looked good. It's just such a... It comes across poor on the screen. The fog, it all looks very greyish, and it's not very clear. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I
look at it with tinted spectacles.
I'd like to get a HDMI adapter for my Nintendo 64, and I think maybe then you'd get a decent result out of it. But
yeah. I think people are starting to come around to the fact that the N64 wasn't very good. Personally, I think it's got like 20 games where you go great games. Then it's got
the comment section is gonna blow up.
Not the comment section. I'm about to go mental. That's bullshit. Also, that is 15 more decent games than the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn had about 5 good games, and you can take all the time you need to think of those good games.
I agree.
That's all the,
Are you kidding? I've got 30 games up there that I'll push against any Nintendo 64 game. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not this one.
Right about the N64, it may have. I think, yeah, you say it probably did have about 20 decent titles, but it's got a tiny library anyway.
Yeah,
it's got a tiny library game.
There is so much filler on that console, more so than any other Nintendo console I've ever been around, and it's one of them where I know it can't be helped, but like none of them have aged well at all either.
N64 has.
Well,
the
sport.
N64 badass.
Well, I played Goldeneye for the first time in about 10 years, like last year, and I couldn't play it. It was like the control, obviously, it's so bad. Like, what I don't get is I used to make a sharpshooter on that. I couldn't hit anything. It was like, how the hell was I doing that at 12 years old?
I think that's just control schemes and mechanics, and first-person shooters have changed. I mean, you go back and play first-person shooters from like original Xbox, and they're not good anymore. But back when I was playing them back then, they were fucking amazing.
I will still put Halo up against modern gamers. Modern games, sorry. Halo really nailed the mechanics of the twin stick shooter. Yeah, I think that's one game that does hold up. Graphics wise, maybe not so much, but at the time, you used to look at the grass and be like, wow, that's some really good looking grass.
I remember the sense of wonder I got when I walked out for the first time and you see the ring extended that still gives me goosebumps if I think about that.
Such a good concept for a game, that one. It's
a shame though.
I haven't really answered your question, but I think to answer it, I'd be willing to give it a shot in Japanese, which I'm yet to do, knowing that I'll be able to play it at a decent speed, not 7% running across Hyrule playing fields.
Already bollocks.
And the music slows down too. The music slows down too.
Everything else stays exactly the same. You can see combat still at 2 speed, but you move at a snail's pace.
Oh, you'd be dead. You'd be dead.
I think maybe just for the comedy factor of how amazing the video would be on that, I'd maybe go with that one because that'd be exceptional.
That'd take a long time to upload.
Yeah.
Well, just welcome to my internet in general, mate. I'm used to it. It's fine.
So your internet speed's pretty bad over there still, is it?
Well, I'm actually getting better internet on the 23rd. I don't even know what date it is now, but it's not long. I managed to switch to a provider that's like 10 times faster, literally 10 times faster. So I should be about to be able to stream for real, as opposed to
for real. I like that. You were pretending before.
Well, I mean, I kind of stream, and then 10 minutes in, my screen freezes, and then everyone goes, "Oh, the screen's froze." It's like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Oh, that's
Thanks,
the worst.
Sky Internet.
Oh yeah, Sky's awful. That's what I use. It's my worst internet.
Uploading to YouTube in general is quite slow anyway. Even if you do have a fast connection, is because the upload speeds are different to the download speeds, and it takes hours. For a short video.
I'm running 5 mega whatever's per second or whatever it is, and it takes me to upload a 15-minute video about half an hour. Whereas it used it used to take me 6 hours or more to upload a 30-minute video. So we did get we did get an increase in speed, but I'm on cable. I'm not on ADSL2. So
yeah. Well, I've just got I had the lowest internet speed possible in the UK today in terms of uploading.
It's called dial-up.
I actually the guy on the phone that I spoke to was like, oh wow.
Sorry.
What? He was like, yeah. So you've got in terms of upload, 0.1 megabyte per second, which is literally double 56k modem. It's actually what I've got in 2018. And now I'm going to one that is guaranteed a minimum of 20 megabytes per second upload. So it's like in terms of like a switch up, it should be pretty incredible.
Yeah, but you could still run Dreamcast on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, double speed.
How did the Dreamcast do it? How did it do it on such a slow?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, well, I used to play Fantasy Star Online back in the day, and it was literally everyone like real time, no issues at all. Like, crazy how it did it. Yeah,
I played that. I loved it.
Now you try and play a fucking online game of Mortal Kombat X. Yeah, there's no point in me doing that.
Super Smash Bros on the Wii? No, that would happen. Go down every second or two.
Nintendo Online again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started. Yeah, they really. I think the take-home message from this podcast is Nintendo really need to fucking get their act together.
Yeah, they just need to step on it.
Even, I mean, I don't even want them to break any new ground. Just be comparable.
It's not difficult.
Offer a comparable service. Yeah, the groundwork's already been done for you by other companies.
It comes back.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about the Legend of Zelda BS edition, where this is in the 80s. They were doing live satellite, and they were cutting edge back then. You could do your banking on a Famicom, for God's sakes. And now you find that they're the worst company of the lot. It's just weird that they haven't kept up.
Do you know an argument that I saw the other day about this was someone was saying, yeah, but the difference is that Nintendo has so many kids on the platform that they're worried about having people online, basically sending horrible messages. Listen, listen, I've played FIFA on Xbox, yeah. The amount of messages that I've received directly after beating someone 4-0 telling me that a 12-year-old is going to do my mum. Sorry, like that problem already exists. Don't worry about it.
I hope your opponent was a 12-year-old, not a grown-up who's going to send his 12-year-old to give you up.
No,
worse.
That was Mark sending that. That was Mark sending that one.
That kid round to do your mum, mate.
You know what I mean, though, don't you? Like in terms of Xbox Live, as soon as you beat someone, then you always get a crappy message sent through, like an audio recording going, "Listen up, you little dickhead." It's like, mate, it happens. Don't worry about it. Like Nintendo, just grow up. It's fine.
Also, if your kid's too young to receive abusive internet messages, then you shouldn't let them online on their own anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the developers or other people online.
Yeah.
Parenting.
I don't know why Nintendo have taken it upon themselves to parent everyone's children.
Nannies for everyone.
Don't worry about that.
They don't need to do it.
The 3DS used to have a letter swapping app, and I used to really like sending people that were on my friends list messages, and they'd send it, drawings and stuff like that. And they canned it, they killed it because because you could actually take photos with the 3DS 3D photos and send them, and of course someone's got to take a photo of something inappropriate and send it to a random kid who accepts it, and then that message got to the Nintendo head office, and they overnight just canned it. It was within a week they pulled the plug on that service. It was just so sudden, and it's like, do you guys not know that this stuff happens all the time on the internet? This is part of the world we live in.
It's just, again, it's all about parenting. It's not about asking
yes
to differ their service for you. Sit there and make sure that your kid is doing the right thing. It's not about anyone else doing it.
Supervise your children for once. Spend time with your children. Come on, don't plot them on the internet and just say, "Oh, you received some terrible messages and pictures and things."
It's Nintendo's fault that you saw someone's cost.
It's the developer. It's video games.
Yeah.
It's like growing up, I had cousins and stuff where there was one PC in the house and it was in the kitchen, basically whatever they was doing, the whole family can see. That's how it should be. If you've got a 5-year-old messing around online, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Really?
As you get older, sometimes I don't want the whole family seeing what I'm doing.
Sometimes.
And he works up to a point, but it's
Yeah.
not. Sorry, does everyone mind leaving the room? I'm just going to have a wank. I mean, I don't want to have to go through. That's awkward.
Oh, that's the awkward bit. Okay.
He's in my house.
And that was the longest pause in silence I've heard for a while.
It's all my
Cut
fault.
that if you want.
Yeah, I'll cut that bit. No, I've got to leave it now because I've just fuck it. Fine. Well, I think that's probably a nice note to wrap things up on.
Yeah.
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 There's a mental
That's-
image.
Yeah, all the questions. I feel we've learned things about each other. And I've blushed, so. Yeah. I'll let you do the honours.
Yeah.
I can't speak anymore.
Yeah, so that's you gone. So just to wrap up, thanks Brian and Mark for joining us.
Sorry, Chris's face.
Just put an image over there, just censored.
Just think of Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher on a wet day. Margaret Thatcher on a wet day. Yeah, that would do it.
My dad's still got a framed picture. He went up to Sheffield the
no.
day after she died, where he's from. He went up and he bought a copy of the Sheffield Star because the front page said she's finally dead. he got it framed above my old bedroom.
Do you know what? Like the only thing that I was gutted about the whole time that I was in Australia is that I was in Australia when she died, and there was street parties in Manchester, and I missed them. That was the only thing I was gutted about. Yeah.
And then, when he got back, we cracked open a beer. I've never been happy about someone perishing before, but I fucking was about it.
Yeah.
I don't think Australia's had a prime minister that is hated. Like, there's been some that have been not very popular, but not just outright hated, like Margaret Thatcher was.
Yeah, like, your guys go like and have beers at the football and argue about stuff. It's funny.
Oh,
Like,
how
you know what I
good!
mean? Like,
How good a ex-prime minister is Bob Hawke? I mean, the guy downs hourglasses. Like he's I don't know if he's still the Guinness Book record holder, but he was at one point for the quickest yard glass.
Yeah, he is. I went to the pub that he did that at.
No.
They've got it. Yeah, it's in Oxford. Yeah, I've drank at that pub. It's a good pub.
But he's like, what, in his 80s or something now, and he still turns up to the cricket, and there's a whole stack of people surrounding him while he's downing a schooner. It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more of that. We need way more of that.
Okay, Ben.
No.
I think you might want to put this one to bed.
So thanks, Brian and Mark, for joining. Links to everyone's channels will be in the description down below. Check them out. Definitely check them out. Brian and Maz Gaming have, their channels have really got some legs recently. Even some international press attention. Pretty impressive stuff. And definitely check them out. And also the apologies we mentioned. We've got Scaredy Matt couldn't join us. Sorak Space and Ash from 891. Their links will be in there as well, and also the link to the Ministry of Retro Gaming website itself, which is in its infancy at the moment, but keep it penned and keep on checking back. Just to roll out, start with you, Brian. What have you got coming up, and what have you been up to lately regarding your channel?
Got a Shenmue 2 review that's taking forever to get done, and I was filming just yesterday my intro for my 1982 look back video. So I'm doing a look back of every year of my gaming life, gaming since Spacies, and yeah, looking at 1982. And I don't know what game of the year will be for that year. Still haven't decided that one yet. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to get more interesting as the years go on, because when I get up to like 95, 96 onwards, I'm going to come up with games of the years, and everyone's going to be on the comments. Oh, how did you pick this one and not that one? So I can't wait to get closer towards the more current game generations. Maz, what about yourself?
Yeah, I've got a few things coming up. So we've got another Sega interview on the way shortly. Well, I think I'm going to save that until closer to launch day for the game that it's concerning, but I'm not going to say too much just now. And also, I interviewed Tom from the Dreamcast Junkyard, Tom Charnock. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a really cool guy, and he's hanging up his controllers shortly. So it was cool to get an interview with him, you know, like while he's still going, because I had big plans for September because it was the kind of birthday of the Dreamcast in the West. But then I ended up getting ill at the start of September, and then I kind of didn't do anything for a few weeks because I was really ill. So I kind of all the videos that I wanted to do then have had to be pushed along to just kind of around now. So you'll see a lot of Dreamcast content coming up, and a few other sneaky things. I've got something that arrived in the post recently that is the rarest Sega thing I own by a mile. And it's just turned up, so there's a video coming up on that. So yeah, loads of Sega stuff.
Wow,
excellent,
brilliant. Yeah, can't wait for that. So yeah, definitely check that out. Have a look in the description, everyone. Just have a look at the whole thing. Check out every link. We'll also put, when it comes around for the next podcast, we'll put the link to the next one in once that gets recorded and uploaded.
Brilliant. Yeah.
What's happening on
Sweet.
Grumpy? What about you guys?
Well, I've got, we're sort of going through a bit of a rebrand. We've had the same tired ass intro for a while, for a couple of years, so we've done another one.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one rolling out.
We'll say nothing else, but I'm incredibly proud of how it came out. It is cheesy as shit. And as a follow-up to me, us having a go at people that wear ridiculous t-shirts, I've designed my own, so and we'll be giving away one of them as a contest prize, along with a little cheeky extra.
Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone stays tuned for that.
We want to get back on some more Let's Plays as well. I think we've sort of not been so keen on that recently for some reason, but we're going to get back on those. We do enjoy doing them.
Well, everyone just tells us we're shit at games. But we already know that. So.
And what's going to become a regular series is the eBay and online marketplace.
Yes, love that stuff.
The insane listing.
It's not like there's no shortage of content for that.
Every day there's a whole
it just keeps giving.
Yeah, keeps on giving. So you've got to make that into a regular series. I think possibly monthly. I think. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome, guys. Well, obviously, thanks for having us. Obviously, thanks for hosting, guys. You've done a great job. And yeah, see you soon.
Sweet.
No problem. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.